Lexi with all the Finstas will be there. Dolores, I don't know what the hell she's going to sell. Dolores hasn't sold something since she sold her ass back in the 80s, if you know what I'm saying over there. But Teresa, I need to talk to you for a minute. Everyone thinks I hate Teresa. I'm trying to give real advice here. By the way, Teresa listens to our show because we'll cover that. This past week I explained how Jennifer Aydin has dropped Teresa for Dolores, which I will double down on because I have it from a very reliable source. So Teresa listens to us, so she goes out and she posts all these pictures after I said that of her with Jennifer Aydin. You could post all the pictures you want, Teresa. It doesn't mean that Jennifer hasn't dropped you. I got to fill you in on a couple of things going on behind the scenes, my friend. That's for another show. But I'm just trying to help Teresa. Now, the Namaste Bitches is over, girl, but you better get those turning the table sweatshirts printed. You owe 3 million with your husband to the IRS. You owe another 1.25. You only get paid, well, at least back in the day, you got paid 5,000 a day for going to BravoCon, 15 grand. I imagine it's a little more now. It's favored nations. Everyone gets the same amount. But Teresa, you use this opportunity, girl. Don't you sleep in. You get up and you go and you sell those sweatshirts. You sell everything, everything, right? Because you could make money by selling your merch. So seriously, Teresa, print up the tables turning, namaste. People could get a video with you flipping a table, buy a cheap ass table, put stuff on it, flip the table, $25. They'll get a picture with you, a video. I'm telling you, Teresa, I'm trying to help her. You guys think I hate her? I'm trying to help the woman. So make your money when you're there, girl. So that's that. Now, I've heard a few things about this. Why can't news just be news? Why can't it just be news? Why can't I just say the rumor is that these four are going to BravoCon and I kind of believe that it's true? Why do I have to have news in my DMs from reliable sources? I don't want these DMs. I just want to be left alone. But when I know that you know what you're talking about, well, I heard from a reliable source that when the talk of BravoCon started, Teresa was very adamant about she will not go if Margaret is going. I don't know, all of a sudden she just realizes that Melissa's gonna go and there's nothing we can say about Melissa. So she's tended, according to my source, she tended to focus on Margaret and saying she would not go to BravoCon if Margaret was going. Well, seems like you're going, Teresa, and it seems like Margaret's going. So I don't know if you realize this. Like, this is good news, and we'll get into the future of the show and your upcoming RHONJ contract, Teresa. Like, this is good news, but it's also like I think Bravo is starting to realize, look, the network owns you, Teresa. They own Kyle. They own everyone. Now, Kyle don't care. Sutton don't care. Well, Sutton does care. She loves being on TV. Tilly doesn't care. Kathy doesn't care. People with a lot of money don't care. But I mean, I think Teresa thought somewhere along the lines that she was like so, and I'm sure Louis blows smoke up her ass, but like they own you, girl. So you could say you're not going if Margaret's going, but now it's come down to it, and Margaret is going, and you're going. You're not going to say no to BravoCon, nor should you. Just get over it. These ultimatums never work, Teresa. It's just like any business deal in the world. The person who wins at the negotiation is the person who is like I'm so particular with like where I live and apartments. Every time I buys a house, I'm so particular and I know myself so well. I'm so self-aware. I never really win because like I've looked at 8,000 places and I don't want to live any of them. And this is the only place I want to live. So in any negotiation, whoever cares more wins, girl. So you're going to BravoCon. So is Margaret. So, I mean, Bravo does own you. You do realize this. So part of me thinks that there won't be a panel because what does this mean for the future of RHONJ? I find this conversation way more important. And I'm starting to think that we've gone about this all wrong. I'm starting to think I've gone about this all wrong. I really thought when RHONJ ended a year ago, it was August, that Cabral and Fuda, and I really like Rachel Fuda, and I like Cabral too. I really thought that they were the Drew Sidora. Look, Roni was a mess. Whether it comes back or not, all this shit that Andy says, it don't matter whether it comes back. It's a failure. Nobody likes season 14. Nobody likes season 15. They got a mess. So I can tell you one thing. I don't think they'll ever reboot another show again, although they are rebooting Vanderpump Rules, but I don't think they'll reboot another Housewives again. Look what they did with Atlanta. And this season of Atlanta is not great. The ratings are not great. They just had their lowest ratings ever. Um, but with Phaedra's return, which I don't know what that says, but I think that is I've said it along. Melissa's been out there saying it. I've said it too. That's the model they're going to go for, right? Some old, some new. And I think I've been going about this all wrong because I really thought that Cabral and Fuda were like Drew Sidora, right? The difference is, Drew was there 3 years, so they keep the OG types, right? They keep Portia, they keep Kenya, and then they have Drew, who's not a newbie, but she's not like that. She's not like the legacy that those two are. I really thought that was going to be Fuda and Cabral, but the more I think about it is with this announcement for BravoCon, I think that. Drew was there 3 seasons, okay? And these two were there 2 seasons. It makes a little bit of a difference. I think the biggest difference to me is that RHOA, although we slowed it down now and we're not filming things right away, but RHOA started filming rather quickly. So the momentum for Drew was there. I almost think Fuda and Cabral could have made it. And this theory could have worked with some old, some new. They kind of bridge the gap between the old and the new, like Drew. But we've now waited a year. And so I think, like in the RHONJ legacy, we've kind of forgotten about Cabral and Fuda. Yes, they're out there, they're posting, everyone's together. But I don't think it looks good for either of them. Honestly, I think they're more like Leah and Ebony now. I love Ebony. We've said this before. I mean, you guys blame Ebony. You associate Ebony with the taint, the stink of season 13, Roni, which I really liked. But you associate Leah and Ebony with that. So now they're going to be back. I mean, Leah's also sued the network, and yes, we have a lot to talk about with that. But I think that Cabral and Fuda are like Ebony and Leah, not like Drew. I think they associate those two with the stink of RHONJ season 14. And I don't think Cabral and Fuda are going to be back. Dew and Fessler, I mean, is beyond desperate. She ain't going to be back. I think she had a better chance if she just faded away and didn't do all this press and interviewing. Jackie won't be back and Aydin won't be back. Do I think that these four going to BravoCon means that these are the four that are coming back to New Jersey? Well, one thing has nothing to do with another, I guess, but I don't know. I'm starting to think that, look, if you keep Margaret, Melissa, Teresa, and Dolores, and you bring in 3 to 4 new people, four half old,